What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Headspace Podcast. It is your boy HSR, and joining us tonight is...
Are you talking to me? You know who I am.
Yeah, but
I do this with you all the time.
I know who you are, but introduce
to
yourself,
other people who
motherfucker.
don't know me, I was here for Logic. I am Jay.
Yes.
Jay?
Yeah.
Any relations to the Jay that we're reviewing tonight?
No.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'm quite Caucasian.
Of course, guys. And you got the chaotic Dr. Damon with you in this 34th episode of Headspace. Thank you for joining us.
And I guess before we get started, it's important to talk about our soda streams.
Yeah, sort of. I'm cheating again.
Yeah, no, I just got water, and the truth is we ran out of carbon either way, so
Oh,
there was no
no.
way to do anything but drink water tonight. But I can tell you, when I go biking, it's so tight. But when I go biking, it's an effective storage unit to drink water from.
Yeah. What he said, yeah.
And also important to say, guys, we are reviewing a 10-song album. If you're not down for the chit-chat, you can click on the show more right under this video box thing that you see us through, and then be able to jump from song to see which one you like on this.
Exactly, because you may not care about hearing anything in particular, and we don't want you to leave and go, when does the good stuff start? On that note, Jay, why don't you tell us what album we're reviewing today?
I appreciate it, but how about we have Damon do it?
Okay, if you want to do
Ladies
it,
first, man. Be polite.
Who says I'm a lady?
Oh.
I'm just trying to be nice. I'm really just trying to be nice. Gender does not matter. It's binary. 1-0,
Album,
1-0,
guys.
1-1.
Album.
So, guys, we are reviewing something from Sean Corey Carter, otherwise known as Jay-Z, y'all. Yes, I did go y'all on y'all.
That's okay. And
Ooh, also important to say, it's O Canada Day for us
Yes.
today, July 1st, guys.
which is like July 4th, but for Canada. It's
Exactly.
the 150th of Canada, so it's a quasi big deal. And there will be fireworks later.
Maybe.
Maybe because it's raining, it's pouring.
Yes, but the album for the Jigga Man is 4:44.
So, yeah.
4:44. Yeah, I don't know. That's the name of the album.
That we're reviewing today, guys. So, Jay-Z was born when? The 4th of December of 69.
Yeah.
And he has a pretty big, impressive fucking musical background. Like,
Yes.
I took a look at it. Was it 23 Grammy Awards? 21 Grammy Awards. Over 100 million fucking, what was it?
The guy is basically
Records
one of the most accomplished rappers. I mean, he's worth, I saw, $880 million right now on his own. Then with Beyonce, they're like over $1 billion. And, like, it's crazy. Like, I mean, Jay-Z's, like, a staple of my, like, high school life. Like, he was in his heyday back then. I think Volume 3, The Life and Times of Sean Carter came out back then. And, like, Big Pimpin' and all of that shit popped
Isn't that
off.
the Blue Carter? Or the Carter? Not
Maybe,
the Carter. The Blueprint. Sorry.
Was Big Pimpin' off the Blueprint?
Yeah, it
I
was.
thought it was Volume 3. Anyway, I still love that shit, that classic era of Jay-Z, we'll call it, before he started retiring. And then he kind of... Well, he started retiring at a
I don't
certain
consider
point.
that retiring. When you retire, you don't do nothing.
No, but he said he retired, and it was going to be his last album multiple times over the course
Justin
of his
Bieber
career.
said he retired. He's still going.
Yeah, that's my point. But still, Jay-Z did that first, you know?
Okay.
And I don't know. I like Jay-Z. He's just one of those characters. But I like him more as, like, a character, like a person to like, talk about more than, like, the latter part of his music career. So I can say I did not have high expectations going into this album after his last few projects.
I generally don't like his style of rapping. I don't like the way he pitches, but he has something to say, though. He has something to bring to the table, and that I found interesting. And through this album, like, I figured, like, to me, the album cover rang to me a time, for sure, 444. Like,
It was just,
to me,
like,
that was, like,
salmon
obvious.
pink or something.
Well, this is
Yeah, like, he was, like, Mr. Sandman, like, the Cordettes pink, like, type of, anyways.
UJ?
Well, the reason, okay, so first off, I wanted to bring up a question to you guys. Would you say his type of rap is dying? Because a lot of those rappers back in the day had a story, had a unique, like, you know, they grew up, mom died, something's going on, and then they'll come up, like, if you look at Eminem as an example, the whole stuff with his mom, his baby mama, and everything, and then later on, he had really floppy albums, and then he went back and he rediscovered something again, and then he came out with a story, and with the story, you were able to see the pain. It's like, you know, the rap we have today is party rap. So
Well,
party
well,
rap is easy to do. I'm saying
just to take into consideration, in the 90s there was the Two Live Crew that was existing at the same time as the 90s rap. And then in the 2000s and shit, you had Lil Jon, the crunk music, and the Soldier Boys.
yes,
What I'm saying is it's always had the duplicity, because at the same time as you have all that party rap, you have the Kendricks, you have the Big Seans, you have all these other dudes that are still dropping some lyrical, story-driven, pain shit.
But the more popular music, unfortunately, is not you're very lucky that we have Kendrick, right? Because all the rap we hear today are like Lil Yachty.
No, I would
all
say
my
that.
friends
Well, you've got people
also
like Joey Badass
and
that's
then
got
you've got,
something
He's
to
not
say.
as
Like,
popular though.
I would say
there are
that
still people out there.
it
that
really
are-
just depends on like your age, maybe. So yeah, the 18, 19 party kids are listening to a Yachty more than, let's say, some conscientious stuff.
the bougie era type of thing.
But-
like the people
but to
coming
answer
up
your
for
question,
yeah.
Right,
I think that 18, 19-year-olds, for the most part, have always liked party music because they go party a lot. And I don't know that it's that this music isn't always existed. I don't think that hip-hop in the form of what Jay-Z's doing is really going to die. I think it might not always be in the spotlight.
I'm not talking. I don't think we got to the same point. I'm not saying it's dying. I'm just saying, like, with every CD, eventually all good rappers that have a good lyrical background with it and do really well with a good story, eventually run out of their story and they try to make that that rap, you know, like.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but that's where JC took us by surprise on this. Where we're gonna see later on
I
in
think
the
that's
album.
a good example. Jay-Z's career kind of felt like that. But then other
Eminem
dudes...
too.
But not every... Yeah, Eminem
Yeah, but
absolutely felt
Eminem
like
sort
that.
of like
But Eminem
I
just
feel
was- it was
Song with,
different. Hold
the
on.
Batman thing and the Robin with Dr. Dre. That was a horrible.
That was
song.
an
no,
amazing
I
song.
just feel
You can
like
fuck off.
I just
agree
feel
with
like Eminem's like reaching and grabbing up.
No,
like
I don't think they're comparable, because one
No, but
did
that was
what he
an
could to make
example.
money, and the other was a drug addict who had a lot of trouble coping with life. And, you know, either way, everyone's story is unique, and I do believe that many artists are able to consistently drop albums without, let's say, losing their integrity along the way. The
Oh,
question is will they remain in popularity over time? Probably not. I would say that you have a tenure of how long you're going to stay in the pop limelight.
Well,
And the more you look at people's careers after their limelight ended, they tend to not end.
What's
Well,
popular though? Like
it
popular,
depends. It
it's not-
depends what you're willing to do. Like, are you willing to go fucking like do something stupid on the internet? Are you willing to
No,
fucking
I don't
put
think we're
yourself out there? Like, if you take a look at like Migos right now, they're pretty big right now. If
Yeah.
you take a look at how they got there, it was a freaking meme, and they got there like pretty fucking quick, and they
And
made
then,
money,
like
and then
a
they
song,
made more
like
albums.
back in the day when they were last popping, it was really a Drake feature on a song called Versace, where there was Versace. It's like, if you really look
Yeah,
at it, there are
And
always
the dab song with
gonna
the
be
other
like
guy.
gimmicky raps, and that's
No,
all.
I'm not like what I
'cause that-
mean by popular.
Like
Right.
popularity, like it depends. Like, are you
'Cause you're-
willing to
you're
bow
right,
down to
there
what
is
people
a lot of
want,
this,
or
I feel like Jay-Z, even though if he can make the worst album, he's still gonna have sell out and everything. Not sell out like to sell out to a person, but he'll still have
it
people buying
depends.
everything.
It depends.
Yeah, there's gonna be, I think, people that are curious, but I don't believe that Magna Carta or whatever his last album was well perceived compared to, let's say, The Blueprint.
Obviously not. but
And so Jay-Z is not. He's taken some hits along the way in terms of what he's
the guy
been
owns the
rapping
Brooklyn
about.
Nets. I don't think he took any hits.
Money wise, he's done well. Rap reputation wise, it's not like
He's amazing. He's probably
He's one of the best selling
Godfathers.
musicians.
Yes,
like he's
but
one of the best selling.
what you were saying
Yeah.
is he kind of lost that
That's what I'm
soul
saying.
and went pop with it. So yeah, when you have like that City of New York kind of track, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all like mega bangers, but when you really listen to the album, and you're like, okay, like
This is a scrappy
Jay-Z is
album.
kind of boring. I don't know. I think we
I
should.
actually said that a lot of times when I was listening to any of his albums. There's like some points where I just wanted to turn it off.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you just, like, because you know what the problem I've always had with Jay-Z up until this album? This album's a little different. It's that it's a big part of the who the fuck cares syndrome. What he rapped about is shit. I don't care who fucks more girls or who has better this. And every now and again, Jay-Z would do, like, a really cool song, like the one he did about, like, when he went to Cuba illegally and almost got in trouble, and he dropped a track right there. I don't remember what it's called, but that was some sick shit. Or like Death of Autotune was an interesting song.
I love that song.
But then he
That's a
has
good song.
all this other random shit where, yeah, he's like walking around with this easy breezy Jay-Z attitude, and it's just boring. But then he has like a 99 Problems, and you're like, holy shit, that's really good.
But that
and
can
I've
be said
always-
for any rapper though, in a way.
Yeah, but I feel like Jay-Z is very, like, I feel almost polarized about most
But
of his albums
you know,
and
this
work.
is his 13th recording album.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
It's-
maybe that's Moonlight's a good example too.
He has an incredible tenure, and I think he's too big to fail.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you.
But I do think that this album, this 444, was a little different than his previous works, and I think it's worth talking about if you guys want to get into it.
Well,
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it.
But
Let's start by killing Jay-Z, man.
let's kill him.
Jay-Z, they'll never love you, you'll never be enough. Let's just keep it real, Jay-Z.
So Kill Jay-Z is a fascinating fucking song.
Well, talking about an intro track stating is straight off the bat, like, you know what? Fuck the ego, man. It's not worth it. What's the point of hanging on? Like, it's no longer a point of, like, yo, you know what? I was game, I'm still game. Try and, like, fuck with me. No, it's like, you know what? I'm stepping off. Like, I'm cool with
It's
this.
almost
I'm
like
good where I am.
Introducing the idea that this is Sean Carter talking, not Jay-Z, and the idea that Jay-Z has gotten him into some trouble in the past. And I mean, he confesses to cheating on this song. He both like kind of calls out Kanye, but then points out that either like everyone's crazy or he's crazy, and so maybe all the shit people are saying about him has to be kind of true. A little bit is what something else I like took from this, and I feel like it was just this striking delivery of pain in his voice, this frustration, this like.
No, but he also admits the fact that the guilt of it, and like that same sentence that you said was basically like, shoot, if everybody's crazy, then maybe it's you that's insane at this point. Like, it's just like, it doesn't make sense anymore. You're hanging on to some grudge that, you know, oh, this person's after me, and blah blah blah. It's just like, at some point, let it the fuck go. Breathe in. Expulse and expire all fucking stress, man. It's not worth hanging out. And all this for what? For pride, for ego, for status, for quo, for freaking things that...
To be Jay-Z.
Exactly. What's the point? Like, he's an amazing person in and of himself. Why be fucking tagged by being Jay-Z, right?
Because that's who he is now.
And how did you feel, Jay?
Well, like I said before, when we were having our little discussion before you guys came back to see our wonderful faces, I don't know, I kind of took it differently because I felt like it was a story or was a reflection of his own way. Like, he was sitting down and reflecting, and maybe if he can go back, he's like talking to himself in the future and saying with his kids, right? And he's thinking about, like, do I want them to see what I used to do before I became Jay-Z the Empire, you know? Maybe he's like saying, like, do I want them to know, like, all the shit, like, about me cheating on mommy, to me having beef with Kanye, even though we were used to be so close, or me having beef with whatever I used to do, cooking coke and everything, you know, being the drug dealer.
I think it's almost like that there's a reality that he can't escape the fact that his kids are going to find out, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's what inspired maybe something like the idea of this song. But I guess it's accountability, right? Mm-hmm. It's from what I understand, this is supposed to be a response to Beyonce's Lemonade, where she like accused him of cheating and a couple other things. So he's starting off by saying, you're right, I'm going to kill Jay-Z. I'm going to be a different man moving forward. And I like the start of the album. I really feel like this song caught me off guard. I wasn't sure what to expect with it when I saw the title. And then I was like, oh, this is surprisingly really mature and really interesting and actually not that boring.
It was more like the self-awareness of it, like, caught me off guard. Like, I really, like I said at the beginning, I don't like his style. Like, when he started off, I was like, ugh, okay, it's the same type of thing. However, when I started listening in, it was like, okay, you're starting to understand, like, what adulting and maturing is truly.
Finally.
Like, just, like,
Oh,
fuck,
you
like, you've
see.
made all this money, like, now you're realizing what's important, like, fuck your kids, like, it's like your mommy,
You
like,
know what is a
whatever.
good example for everyone who's about to listen to this album? Go listen to the Blueprint one and listen to Hova, like that party song.
Yeah.
And then go listen to this, and you'll see the maturing, like exactly on. You'll see how much he matured.
But I give it a 4. I feel like it's a fantastic idea, but as a song, it's not one I could bump all the time.
No.
It's got a well-made beat. It's a great premise, but it's not like the best song. It's a great intro, and it fits this album. It's more like Jay-Z is not trying to make bangers on this. He's trying to just be honest on this, and it showed a little bit in the track work. Mm-hmm. So I appreciated it, but 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree. I also gave it a 4 in that sense, stating that, like, I enjoyed what he, like, there was still, musically, you guys know me, like, I'm more of an orchestra in my head. Musically, there was something missing. I would not be able to listen to this all the time. However, I could, like, try to, like, listen and, like, sing along, because I like what he's trying to say in this song, like, even though it's a little bit too aggressive in my sense, but I still liked it. I gave this a 4 as well.
Oh, I gave it a 3. My
Okay.
reasoning being is because like I'm like, okay, every song I go into it thinking, am I gonna plus this or not? I'm not gonna plus this. I wouldn't skip it, but it's like you have to experience the whole album to listen to the song. Like this is a mission statement, but it's not it's not something you want to have in your everyday. Like if you're gonna save the CD, you listen to every single song, fine, but it's not on my list.
I get you.
Yeah, thank you.
No.
All right. So let's talk about
The
the
story
story
of
of
O.J.
OJ.
Real nigga with Sean Cutlery. Go play the quarters where the butlers be.
All right, Jay, how did you feel about the story of OJ?
You're just throwing me right in there.
Yeah,
To the wolf's
absolutely.
den.
Yes.
I want to make sure you talk, buddy.
Okay, fine. So, you know what? Without seeing the video, I kind of didn't like it. I didn't like the mellow. Like, it really surprised me with the mellow beat, right? Like, also, I can't sing along with this out in the street because I probably get shot. So, and I can't bump this loud in my car. The reason being is because, how can I say this? Like after watching all the stuff that's going on with O.J. Simpson and all the shows, and then listening to his point of view, I feel like he's talking to a generation of younger people, saying you don't have to be the typical black person. Be someone true. Be something better. Be inspired to be better. Don't be like, oh, I have the 50, 40, and I'm sitting on the curb doing stupid shit. No, you're not that. You're a human being. Show that black people are not just this stupid. Like if you look into the video, they show all these Disney clips and all these imageries of people of how black people used to be prescribed, and they're not that. I'm sitting next to a nice young black woman. Does she look like anything from the video? Not at all. So you can fuck off. So that was really interesting, seeing that video. The video really changes the whole song for me.
Well, it just makes it explain, like, no matter what the world tries to portray and no matter what, like, black people say, in a sense, like, no matter what you try saying, like, don't try to erase the heritage. Like, we've been part of this, and
No, go on.
like a lot of people have been part of this. Don't try to erase it, and they're trying. Like the video is shock. The video is like portraying like horrible things, like just like you were pointing out the Django scene with Samuel L. Jackson, like being in the house, like being like a house brother. Like the whole thing is like just. Anyways, I'm not gonna sing it, but it was like.
So like I took it like the OJ line. There was just something with the way he said "okay" that is like, okay, OJ, you're being a bit ridiculous. Like you
Yeah,
can
it's like
pretend
because OJ was saying like, nah, I ain't black.
I'm OJ. When it's
I'm
like, okay,
OJ.
as
But
much
I
as
kind of
you-
like that message in a way, because why do I have to be the black athlete? Why do I have to be
Alright,
the black superstar?
But like,
Why can't I be
I
OJ
think that where
motherfucking
Jay Z
Simpson?
is going with it is, regardless to how you see yourself, regardless to what adjective you describe to it, at the end of the day, other folk are going to see you like this. And you need to be aware of that, and you need to behave in a way that changes it. Like, if you look at what he's describing in the verses here, he's describing stuff like, I made some mistakes back in the day. Like, I bought some cars, but yo, if I bought that apartment in this condo area or whatever that blew the fuck up, I never heard of, it would have gone from a 2 million value to a 25 million value. I feel like Dumbo. And then you look, he's like, the Jews bought wealth. That's how their community thrived, and in the black community, instead of like losing each other, invest in your communities and shit. He's kind of like laying down like, this is how you escape this trap almost that you've been playing in. Take your situation and use it kind of like this.
In a positive way, like instead of going at it in the gang war, like instead of like he's saying like go of your gangs, take that money, and instead of taking that money and investing in the gangs, take it and invest it in the community, and it's making clean money.
Don't go to the strip club. Don't go and buy all the fancy. Go invest in businesses, invest in the infrastructure, create the community. Do differently, because honestly, the rest of the world sees you like this.
No matter what you do or say, like
And
at this point,
whatever-
like unless you're willing to change as a group, it's not gonna work. Like,
But they were just also, one thing is, in the video they were showing all kinds of pictures, but I think he's referring to Black America, and that's the sad part. I wish he would show all of the culture at the same time.
So I
because a
think
lot of
that
cultures are beautiful.
what the video is trying to portray is, once upon a time, this is how America actually saw you.
Oh,
black
Don't
people.
forget
I
that.
like that one.
And because like this isn't that long ago that these cartoons were there. Rap Critic has an excellent series on these cartoons. I'll link that below if you want to learn more about some of the awful parts of our culture or in history. But in general, it's like, don't forget that this is how they see you, and using the most offensive pieces of our cartoon past to really elaborate the point. Like it's really to drive it home with the right kind of shock value. And honestly, I appreciate the video a lot. I appreciate the idea behind this song. I like a lot of what it was, but I only gave this a 4 because I could not bump this every day. This is so like,
You know what?
you got to be in a mood for it kind of music for me.
I usually listen to music with my headphones, but you know what? I am so naive that if this would come up on my radio through my Spotify, I would definitely not skip it. I did give it a 4. I would bump this a few times. Like, I enjoy the message. I enjoy the video. Like, I know it's really, like, negative in its value, but what it says itself and the depths of it, like, it's actually like, hey, wake up. Like, it's enough. Like, stop, like, fucking trying to paint it another color. It's not. You're this color. Deal with it. This is your heritage. And don't try and avoid it.
Near
like,
the end of the video, you have, like, this scene where the fist goes up like that just to show the pride. And it's not, like... I appreciated what Jay-Z did here.
What did you give it?
I give it a 4. She
Me
gave
too.
it a 4.
So I give a bit more in depth than for my grade. Before I give you the number, if you listen to the video, then it's for sure a 4. But if you didn't, I gave it a 3. So I'm gonna stick with a 3 just for listening play.
Good on you.
I appreciate a man who sticks to his principles, Jay. When that kind of stuff happens,
I make you smile.
yeah.
You remember me, smile. Good times never fade away, smile. Even if I'm not with
I
you.
mean, did you like this Smile song?
I love this song.
I knew it.
I loved it. It was just so, like, monotone and, like, just... It was mechanical in itself. It was just, like, very puppet. It was very, like, you know what? Even if there's so much negative happening, like, just turn around, smile, wave at the fucking bad moments as they go by. Like, just, I love those moments. I just, like, fuck you.
I like
But
that.
still, it was just, like, it was a cracked smile type of thing. It was not, it was a yellow smile type of, like, smile. It wasn't, like, smile.
So
no,
it's a
it's
fake
just,
smile.
like, smile.
No.
It was
It's
carry on.
I feel like it's like a jaded victory kind of smile. Like we done been through some shit. Times are changing. Like the part where he's like, "My mom, you can be a lesbian now. Everyone's okay with it. We don't care who you fuck. Just be happy." You know, like it's that kind of smile. Like, look, you've had to hold on to so much pain and bury so much for so long. It's that smile where you can.
I feel it
you
was
gotta,
more
like,
of
learn.
a, like...
It's almost like
the
learn-
battle's over. We're not looking at you anymore. Smile.
But it's like, but you have to
type of
learn
thing.
how to smile again, almost, right? Because it's like you've done been through some stuff. You've had to live almost like, because if you look at like the outro, and it's actually his mom talking, and she's kind of like describing like almost the double life you have to live, this duplicity, and how it's like it's hard and it's almost damaging to you. And so I kind of like I like what he's doing with this song. I did not really enjoy the sound as much as you did. The kind of flat chorus didn't do it for me as much. It was airy, right? So this is like the kind of summer jam where, like, honestly, if I'm at a beach or something and it comes on and I'm in the sun, I would like this song in that moment.
You would slow down. Like, you'd just, like...
Yeah,
Be
and
just
I would actually stop and look at the ducks or whatever, because there's ducks in the water near like LaSalle and Verdun and shit. So that's what I think of these days. But I didn't really think it's a great groove. I like it more like what he's trying to do with it, and I wouldn't really want to listen to this very often, even though it was like technically good, technically proficient, interesting ideas, just not the best, funnest song for me. Like, I did not feel like you did.
It's like you're afraid, like, I'm just gonna be...
No.
What kind of...
I'm
like,
just trying to articulate it like effectively. Like, I don't want to be like, this song is bad, because it's not.
It's okay, it's your
It's
opinion.
just-
There's so many
The
songs in the
song
past
doesn't
where...
engage me in any real way.
It's okay, like, okay, if you want to dive into my perspective a little bit more, is I used to be a ballerina, like, I used to dance ballet, so for me,
Okay.
I saw, like, a very, like, what was the lyrics, like, na 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 na,
Right.
just, like, very puppet, like
Okay.
movement, so for me, it, like, took me into, like, a little macabre scene, like, in my mind, so it was pretty cool to see, like, just a little, like, I like the little carry on that was in the back, like, it just added to my... I am very whimsical.
That's all right.
I
Jay,
apologize.
how did you feel, Jay? You haven't said much.
Wow, I'm gonna get into it now. So I didn't want to smile when I listened to this at all. I really didn't like it. I felt like he was very whiny. I did not enjoy it. It was too mellow for me. It was boring. I wanted to skip it like 15 times. I wanted to go to the end of the album. Just couldn't get into it at all. Like, it maybe has a very deep meaning, but it wasn't intriguing enough to keep me there. I can honestly fall asleep to this song. I do respect that he's talking about his previous, like, his life and how he brought up his mom. And, yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want now, Mom. It's like, just be yourself. That I respect. I respect anyone who says that. But the song itself, just if you look at it music-wise, it's, like, so flat.
I agree.
That's
like,
what I loved about it, though. It was meant to do that.
And
was it meant to do that?
I feel that's exactly what he meant to do.
Meant to do that, Jay. I'm gonna give it to her. I think it was on a purpose. It's just a vibe I'm not
Look,
riding.
when I like my beer, I don't like it flat. And when I like my soda, I don't like it flat. And when I like my Jay-Z, I don't want it to be flat.
I agree.
So
but still, gotta give the man props. 3 tracks in, 3 incredibly decently well-crafted messages.
Very good story. Oh, good message. Very good story.
I gave it a 4, guys. I don't know what you guys gave it. I gave it a 4.
It a 3.
Oh,
I was not feeling this one.
Oh, you thrashed it, didn't you?
Give it a 2.
Oh, there you go.
So we finally broke down into bad song territory.
It's okay, Jay-Z. You didn't caught their eyes, but you caught mine.
Thank God.
Eyes open them up, take off the coins. Their eyes still stinging from tears they try to seal.
So I like the feature of Frank Ocean. I think his chorus is absolutely the best part of this song. And his bridge or whatever. And I know that this dude has some like high pitched, like belty, like real out there vocal range. And I kind of like how they suppressed him and kind of made him duller for this track, and that it really worked well for that beat. Right, and then Jay-Z comes in and drops some interesting verses, just kind of like about paying attention, about how he can see who's real, he can see who's fake, and then almost describing some of the things that happen to people on the way. Like, he's almost perplexed that motherfuckers want to get signed to record labels knowing what's happened to like a decade and a half's worth of great artists who got fucked over record labels, you know? And then cites a whole bunch of examples of like even his experiences with Tidal and how he got fucked and shit.
Did you hear how he got fucked?
Well, with Tidal and Prince and stuff.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
Well, I learned about it when Jay-Z explained it, and then I looked it up briefly.
Yeah, I saw about it. It's like supposedly, okay, so he had a deal in place with Prince to be the first ones to have his discography on.
Yeah.
And so basically what happened was when that happened, his family, his state got involved and said, no, someone came with a better deal. We're going with them, so you don't have the right to do that.
I don't know. Apparently, Prince had been in a struggle for the rights of his music for pretty much his whole life, and had recently won them back right before he died, etc. So I knew that part, and then it was just interesting. But I agree with him. I don't understand why anyone would really want a record label at this point when it's not like.
Yeah, I agree as well. No, but if you take a look at it, like you're signing somebody to do a job that pretty much anybody can manage right now, like, with a little bit of research and like a little bit of fucking investment in yourself, and just like, hey guys, like, I'm also a singer, but do you see, like, we don't have a record label, but we're fucking
and
like.
Part of it is because like
he has the Rock Nation.
One of his like.
He has Rock Nation.
Yeah, but he founded that.
Yeah.
But one of the things he like even expressively said is the idea of label money isn't money, because it's money
it's borrowed.
They're loaning to you.
It's like. No, it's like you're loaning the idea of getting this money, but it's like you're never gonna see it. It's just it's controlled. It's
so the way I understand most record labels work, it is just a direct loan. You get $1.5 million to spend on X and Y, Z things, and when that money's paid back, after that point, you start to see money. Meanwhile, a percentage of everything is gone. And frankly, going indie's probably a lot more profitable for a lot more people in the modern era. And Jay-Z's just kind of like being like, pay attention, be aware of what's going on, don't make stupid choices. That's what I felt.
Yeah, I agree with you. However, like, the fact that you say pay attention is ironic, because I felt that there was a big mismatch blender at this point. Like, right at this track, like, I lost it. I couldn't concentrate anything on the lyrics. Like, I had to read it without, like, before even listening to the song. Like, I was like, okay, no, paused it and just like read what the hell he was trying to say, and that's when I saw the message. But trying to listen to the song, I couldn't like fucking concentrate at it. Like, I liked it, but because of the musical aspect of it, unfortunately, like, I had to chromite it. I miss you, Chris.
So that's a 3.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.
And you,
gave
Jay?
it a 4. I enjoyed it.
I gave
did?
it a 4 as well.
Oh yeah.
But there was
Sorry.
one verse he said, one line he did say one thing, and it's such a easy lyric, like, type of thing. He said, be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
It gave you a lot of message. It really played home to the song. Like, it made you think completely. He's talking about so much. He's like, watch out. These guys promise you something, but be aware because there's sharks in the water.
And he, like, I thought it was clever. Like, again, it's not a song that I'm going to go out of my way to listen to, but I respect and appreciate the knowledge, and I do think that it's definitely more fun for me, at least, than Smile was. So 4 on 5.
All right.
So what are you doing at 4:44?
Well, you know what it is.
I seen the innocence leave your eyes. I still mourn this death, and I apologize.
I gotta just say one thing. I find it always strange when people do these like grandiose public apology type song things. I don't know how anyone feels about that. So before we even talk about it, if you guys have opinions on the motives of this song, feel free to pop that into the comments below. I'd love to see a discussion start around that.
There's a lot of speculation, and Jay doesn't really say it out loud. It words, like, people are really putting words into his mouth. I'm not too sure what's going on. Like, there's a lot of people saying that he cheated on Beyonce. He did. Like,
he
it's
says
there.
it like he says, I apologize for my womanizing, meaning my fucking other women. And that's like the first lyric of the song is I fucked other chicks.
Womanizing means like fucking
You're sleeping
other
with
people.
yeah.
Oh, I thought it would be like flirting around and being this shit.
It's like you're cheating.
Womanizing means that you just can't be happy.
And then, like, one of the interesting things about this song is he references that Solange Knowles incident from 2014 where they're fighting in an elevator.
Which I didn't know about.
I remember when that happened, and there was all sorts of speculation and rumors that she was pissed off because he was cheating and whatnot. And then nobody ever said anything about it. And the fact that he, like, almost validates, like, yeah, it's true. I played her like it wasn't happening. I was wrong.
Woo.
And so he, like, is basically admitting that he cheated on her, that he's aware of, holy shit, I have kids. This is long overdue. Like, what am I supposed to say when my kids find out my bad ways? Like, I really need to... Like, it's almost like it ties into the idea of killing Jay-Z. And now he's, like, focusing in on Beyonce and, like, yo, I do love you, and I'm really sorry, and please forgive me. And Lemonade was an eye-opener.
Well, I didn't get the Lemonade thing because I didn't really listen to that song. I saw it once without the sound on a video screen.
It's Beyonce. She has an album where she basically mentions Becky with the great hair, allegedly who he cheated with or something like that, kind of claiming that he cheated on her.
I am so not aware about this gossip news.
Well,
TMZ, help us.
Oh, no.
It was hard to avoid that one, for me at least.
I mean, like, I'm sorry, guys. I don't stay connected with what happens to me. It's just noise, and I don't really care about what's happening. But it's interesting now that I get this aspect, and it's like, oh, okay. I got that it was, like, a cheating sort of, like,
but do you care?
thing, but no, not the fact that I care. I love the way that he put it. Like, I apologize. It wasn't like, I apologize, but...
It was,
which I loved about it.
And I finally understand that there are serious consequences to my actions. And, like, one of the lines is, like, is a threesome really worth fucking up a relationship with my child? And things like that. And it's like, okay. And if you consider the role model tone he's taken for this album so far, it's kind of has that double entendre of speaking to all the other little rappers who are out there fucking around. And
what's
being
the
like,
point? Like, basically saying, like, hey,
really,
careful. Do you
Well,
wanna...
maybe he's talking to the rappers that have relationships.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
you
It's
got
to the
this
guys
really diehard
creeping.
person with you in life, right?
And and the fact is, if Jay-Z could cheat on Beyonce, it's like, you know, like on that level, it's like everyone I know is like, how could he do that? And
well,
it's like,
a billionaire, he's a billionaire. He's cute.
yeah, is that this? No, that's the next song, I think.
Yeah.
But honestly, one fun fact is this song is actually 4 minutes and 44 seconds long.
And he wrote this song at 4 o'clock at 44 minutes a.m.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's why he wrote. That's why he named it. I have a quote from him here.
Okay.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, is a song I wrote. This is from Jay-Z himself, and it's the crux of the album, just right in the middle of the album. And I woke up literally at 4:44 in the morning, and to write the song. So it became the title of the album and everything. It's the title track because it's such a powerful song, and I just believe one of my best songs I've ever written.
I think it's one of the most mature songs he's ever written, but I don't know, man.
Maybe to him, maybe to us, no, but to him, it's one of his best songs.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 4.5.
There's no point.
There's no points here, unfortunately. It's Headspace. So
What?
It's just solid grades for the thing and then the point at the end.
Yeah, so 4 or 5.
Now you have to choose.
You have to choose one.
I can't do that. I'm just gonna leave 4 question mark.
Okay, 4 questions. I give this
I'm sorry, I come from Rock and Beards.
That's right, where we can give all the mark. Anyway,
That's right, Chris Chrome, be here.
It's a 4
I'm just
for
playing.
me.
Happy
'cause,
anniversary, guys.
Yeah, he's away with his lady friend celebrating a year on Canada Day. Woot! 150th birthday, 1 year. They're running up against that. Yeah. So I give it a 4 as well because it's not really something I want to listen to every day. And this is where the I don't give a shit about Jay-Z's love life kicks in. And I appreciate what he's doing with this track, and it's like really well made. But it's again subject matter that I beyond the one TMZ article I'll read every 3 months. I don't care.
I have a lot of free time, so I read them all.
Okay.
For me, the story, I didn't care much about the story. However, I loved the jam. It's just like,
Okay.
so I gave it a 5.
I have no groove. So
I just like got the it hit me. I played it a few times. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a great, well composed song. I really think for me it's the subject matter that took off that point.
And then you go into like Family Feud at that point.
I was really gonna just go
Yeah.
like, come on down to Family Feud.
From the same hue as you. Y'all stop me when I stop telling the truth.
So we got Beyonce not making any sentences.
She does like the backing vocals. And like she has a little bit more at the end of the song when she kind of flows in a little bit more. But I kind of liked it. She like supported him. I mean, I was thinking, imagine the life you can live when like you can guarantee a Beyonce feature because she lives in your fucking house. Like that's some crazy shit to me. Like just to know that she's there, and in light of this album, like they're obviously at a better place, I imagine.
I feel it was like more of a personal thing. Like he was walking around and she was singing throughout the house, and him recording her while she was like lolling and just like, you know what, I'm gonna take these samples, of course with her permission, but just like it doesn't feel like it's recorded in a studio. It just feels like her free breathing and just
I feel
like having
parts
fun.
of his thing didn't necessarily feel like they were recorded in the most pro studio. But I definitely think they coordinated on this song. But I like the fact that he put it right after the track where he like confesses to her, saying, "Look, I confessed, and now we still good." And our Family Feud was a bad thing, and I recognize this. And then this song is just all like wisdom again.
Yeah, but the song was basically
wisdom to everybody in like the rap world too. Like he's talking to like the culture also. It's like we don't have to be fighting each other. You don't have to be making diss tracks and stuff like that.
it's time to turn a new page. Is
Like,
basically
think,
what he was saying. Like
Tupac had a nose ring too, kind of like calling out like, guys, you aren't even being unique anymore with it. Like you're just reinventing shit that's already been invented.
No, it's no longer reinventing. It's inventing shit without taking a look at what was done before. And it's just like, you know what, like. Y'all think it's this? You think we didn't go through this? We did. Now it's time to turn a page and fucking, like, you know, move on. Like, step up. Like, fucking, you know, everybody goes through an argument. Everybody goes through a tough time. Like, if you just hang on and grudge through that,
it's like, why can't we make music together instead of trying to fight?
Exactly.
Yeah, and
it was a good song. It was fun. Beyonce was a nice, pleasant surprise, you know. I'll just use her because she's there.
Honestly, I feel like, again, it's another song where I like what he was trying to do with the song more than I like the song. By the end of it, I was bored. Like, the sample in the background, that kind of got, like, to me by the end of it. Like,
but it wasn't too bad. Like, I still gave this a 4 nonetheless.
Oh,
like, it was, I gave it a 4. I didn't mind it too much.
I gave this one a 3 because, honestly, I feel like at this point, it didn't really add much to this album. It was kind of like another song in the same lieu of the other ones. And, again, it's personal. It's him expressing himself. And I appreciate what he's doing with it. But it's almost like he wasn't trying to write great songs. He was just trying to express himself.
It's like just a talk to me session. It was just like, hey, like, let's have a beer. Let's just like.
This is like an unplug. Like,
yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, I guess. It doesn't feel like, honestly, like, I feel it's lacking, like, with all the wisdom that it's so far, the album, with all the wisdom that it contains, I feel like it's lacking soul. I feel like it's lacking, like, aura. Emotion. I feel like it, not emotion, because there's a lot of emotion in it.
It's so blah.
But it feels not constructed, but it feels like not fully thought all the way through for you to release thing. That. A little bit.
I don't know if rushed is what it is. I think it's like a deliberate lack of polish. Like
I feel like he wanted to be relevant again.
He wanted to like create something and almost on purpose not make it perfect because he's not perfect.
You know, I feel like, okay, you know what? It's not a conversation anymore. It's just like more of a thought with himself walking down the street, and it's like, yeah, I feel this way about this and blah 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 blah. Sort of like just a slow walking pace. It's nothing exciting so far. It's nothing like a banger. But it's more of like, here's what I'm thinking right now. It's his headspace, literally. It's what it is.
You know what would have changed the song, like this whole CD for me? I'm not going into like a review to it, but what I would feel about this song, if he would have released this when he like after like 2 years after he died, I feel like this would be a banger. The whole CD would be a banger. But I feel like it's something
interesting.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. But right now I feel like it's rushed. It's just blah. I give this a 2.
I gave it a 3 because it was a little bit like it wasn't a bad song. I appreciate what's good in it, but it's just totally not for me.
Bam.
Yeah, Bam is next.
Y'all couldn't stop me, you're not as tough as you say you are. My advice is just don't.
We have that for sure. It's gonna be a radio song.
Yes, ito.
I like Damian Marley's hook, man. It's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a shots fired kind of fun. Like, we the real
In what
ones.
sense?
Because it's kind of saying real gangsters do this. And now y'all kind of talk a lot. And y'all being, like, watched and Instagrammed. And, like, you're not really behaving in the way that real gangsters are supposed to be behaving, right? And then I feel like Jay-Z, while he's flossing a bit, he's kind of pointing out, y'all like the spotlight a little bit too much. Is this the one where he's like you're trying to be a real rapper and then like laughs at the idea because like it's just preposterous that a rapper is going to be doing anything more than talking up shit because that's what rappers do. And like he's like, you know, like we did this and now we're making better moves in life and y'all just acting a fool a bit.
It was an ego track. It was a, like, look at my stuff. Like, this is what you get. This is what it's supposed to be. And this is what, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, not all of this, like, fluff you're experimenting, like, online and trying to get a social status rather than, you know, get your shit together and get your stuff in line. And I don't know, though. The beat sort of fucked with me. Like, I was expecting a full-on Jamaican vibe type of thing, but I got more of a tribal Indian sort of twist to it, a little bit MIA-ish. But it was, I lost it. I lost it a little bit with Jay-Z's part. I felt it was a little bit too long and too stretched out for me to, like, connect to it. And just, like, yeah, just, like, I couldn't grasp the whole aspect of the track. I gave it a 3. Like, it was a balanced out for me. I would not listen to it again. But now that I did re-listen to it, I'm sort of jamming to it a little bit more. It's just, like, smooth and flow. But I'm, again, going to stick, you know, my first listen rating.
This is just a power play for him. This is just I'm making a song for people to have fun with. This is something I can play in the background while I'm cooking. You know, this is pure barbecue jam out movie. Like
I would do. Yeah,
This is pure cookout. Like come enjoy the food. You know, listen to me talk. So and like when you're with your boys or your girls, you talk mad shit. We talk. How much shit do I talk to you?
You talk a lot of shit, Jay.
To you. So especially to you. So
that happens.
Like that's exactly it. That's what Bam is. Bam is just the party song of this album.
I agree with that.
And I like that, and I'm okay with that. And
so
it's not
bored with it.
But it's not a sellout song, so I liked it. I gave it a 4.
It's not a sellout, but I found it kind of like boring. I felt like
I like it.
As
I
it
like
went on.
Damian Marley was really
Damian
good.
Marley to me was like the best part of this song.
That's exactly how I
like
felt.
Jay-Z
Like,
was
Jay-Z
kind of
good.
like okay Jay-Z. It's just that's kind of how I felt. Like this wasn't like as much fun as some of the earlier where like yeah at least Jay-Z sounds. Nah, this is kind of like you're a bit like. It's almost a bit of a contradiction to the earlier track where he's killing his ego. But I get that it's a different type of ego he's trying to express. Like, you need to have pride in yourself. I don't know. The song didn't feel right. I gave it a 3. I felt it was a little bland. I'm okay with never hearing it again.
Don't lie. I hate you right now. But I liked it. I gave it a 4, like I said last time. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
Well, let's see what we can find in the Moonlight then.
Yeah.
Glorified sea filler, huh? Stop walking around like y'all made Thriller, huh?
Now that I got a little bit more of an in-depth explaining of what the hell this song is about, I understand a little bit more.
Well,
but
that's what the reference between, okay, so there's the La La Land reference, and then the song's called Moonlight, and it's kind of referencing what happened at the Oscars last year. And but I don't think that's necessarily what the song's about. I think it's just kind of like pointing out that this is just an aspect of what consistently happens. Like even when we win, we lose, and this is just a visible example of that. And I feel like a lot of this song is saying stop following the shitty norms. Like, you know, like there's better ways to approach and achieve shit.
There's also another thing I found after the Moonlight stuff. I feel like he's talking to like a general people of us, like the ones who are listening, and he's kind of saying like he's critiquing the rap game itself, saying how stale and repetitive it's gotten.
exactly. And like, you know, you're all fucking the same girl and you're all doing that skirt thing and he like makes fun of it a bit. And then, but what he's saying is you're all just kind of doing the same things and being the same person. And you're just all
elevators, like
kind of like
elevate everybody.
Exactly. And I feel like it's just kind of saying, have a real personality. Stop following shit to be cool. Stop trying to be this. Stop trying to be that. You're all living in la la land. Like, you're all not embracing reality as it is. You're just trying to be a bunch of shit. And I really appreciated this one a lot. Like, it really, like, it was like one of the best old man dissing the new rap age era songs that has come out so far.
See, I couldn't get that at all, like that aspect. I lost it, like right in the middle of the track, like especially when he started to sing exactly the skirt, like I was just like, okay, that was funny, and then it just phased out into misting, and just like, yeah, it became like a blender for me, like that track blended within itself, like just into nothingness.
I thought it was like the greatest. I fucking loved every second of this song.
Did you like the song or did you like the message?
I love the song. I love the message, the delivery, the
Wow.
beat, the chorus. Like
So
this one to me is
five?
like this was a 5.
Nice.
I actually
Okay.
gave this one a 5. I thought it was fucking brilliant. I thought it was meta. It made me think, and it tickled me in all the right ways a song is supposed to come at
Very
you.
Moonlighty.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. I really, really thought, like, honestly, it was like the first one I was like, yeah, this is a banger I could bump like every day, put this shit on in the morning and feel good about my day type shit.
Good for
Oh, I'm sorry, because of the blurriness of it, unfortunately, like I smashed it down to a 3. It's not bad. It's not really all that bad, but it's just I couldn't concentrate on it anymore. It's just like at this point I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
The message is amazing. Could have been better. It could have been received and delivered a lot better.
Okay.
It was kind of bland, like she said, blender effect once again. I give it a 3 too. But I respect the message.
Man, I thought this was like fantastic.
It's okay. We can't all be right.
All right, well, I guess Marcy Me then. Marcy Me.
Beat us now. Pregnant pause. Give you some second thoughts. There's room on the band.
It wouldn't be a rap album without that. Let's go back in time to the old days where I come from, reminiscing type track.
Oh, but they
delivering
didn't just
some
talk about the
historical
hood.
context.
Well, that's his hood.
Yeah, no, but he didn't just talk about the hood. He talked about the actual establishments where that's the name of where he was, the Marcy
But,
residence.
like, his place. And he was just describing some of his experiences along the way. And we're reminiscing through it. It's got that nice retro feel. And it's almost like, it's like a token track at this point, is what I felt about this one. And I liked it. I thought it was well delivered. It was well made. I couldn't care less about the story, to be completely honest with you. I mean, I just don't care about it.
It was a shout out track without saying like it's the best, like we're the best and blah blah blah, this is the best. It was a shout out track with saying like, you know what, this is how it was and this is how I got out of it and this is what I am now and this is how I overlook it from now. Like this is how it felt to me. Like it
was like
wasn't just like,
history.
oh, like this is what like, oh, we come from the best hood and blah 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 blah.
it was
It was
just,
just
like,
like
laying
nice
it
and
down.
smoothie. I gave it a 4. It wasn't an extremely high track for me, but I loved the actual
It's
like lyrics of it.
it's kind of like a song to tell anyone who comes from any hood that there's hope. You don't have to be always in the hood. Look at me, I'm a billionaire now, son. Like look at me. You don't have to be just the basketball player star. You could be anything.
You don't
Just
have to go
strive.
into the gangs. You don't
And
have
you
to
need
this.
to like think a little bigger. I feel is a constant theme on this album. You know, just outside.
It was
of
it was okay. It was a 3.
I gave it a 4. I feel like the reason I gave it a 4 over a 3, because otherwise it was kind of boring again lyrically to me. But the feel of it was so smooth, and it's one of those songs where if it came on, I'd be remiss to skip it because it sounded nice. It sounded pleasant.
It's
like,
a
you
nice
can get lost in it.
loungy, like old
Yeah.
school type
Elevator
of like
music.
background.
But like the
Not
kind of
elevator music,
elevator
like
music
loft
you
music, like
actually
lounge
want to like
music.
lounge to,
A
right?
whiskey cigar lounge, like
Yeah.
something like that you'll hear in the background
Well,
without the lyrics,
it's
just
like
the
it
instrumental.
makes me feel like almost like
elevator too,
like a
though.
bit of a classier vibe to it, like a fancy
Sophisticated.
elevator, like a new
Fancy.
age fancy
Not your
elevator
elevator here.
with like a digital hologram butler that pushes the button for you. I don't know. I'm just like imagining now the future,
In
but
our legacy.
I still give it a 4. And yeah, I thought it was a solid track. So we can, I guess, discuss the you know, I know you want to say it,
okay,
Jay.
go on.
You could discuss the legacy of this album.
That was the sweetest thing of all time. Legacy.
Honestly, I just want to throw something out there. It's so fucking weird using Tidal, honestly, because I signed up for the Tidal thing trial to get the album conveniently. And it's so lame. Honestly, Jay-Z, your service is not better than Spotify.
Looks like iTunes.
Up your user experience game to attract more people. I digress. So yeah, Legacy. This is like Jay-Z's will. Like literally, it's his will. It's him shouting out all the people in his family, what they're going to get. Kind of like flossing, this is what I have accomplished. This is my legacy. That's the song.
Yeah. You really, honestly, just said everything we had to say in 2 seconds. Thanks, man.
Well, no, I mean, we could discuss further. I found it boring. I did not think this was an impressively way to close it. Like, it's kind of like on a meta-conceptual level. I appreciate how, like, it's a great way to, like, close your album by creating this track describing your legacy at the end of your wisdom-laced album. On the other hand, it's such a cheeky fucking way to end your album. Like, your daughter, like, what's a will? And then I'll tell you. And then describing, like, okay, I'm going to leave you this company and this and that. And it's just like, what?
The quirkiness of it, yeah, I gotta say, like, it was just like, a little bit of salt in the waves. However, like, the way the album was constructed, though, like, if you go title by title and you go through, like, exactly what happens, now that everything's cool, I've explained where my background's from, I've explained what rough times I've been through, I've explained what I'm proud of, and I've explained where I've matured, here comes my last will. So do you think that this is him basically saying, you know what? Now I leave my legacy. I'm not making music anymore. I'm going to focus on what's coming.
The guy's retired so many times. I don't think anyone would buy it even if that was his intention today. In 2 years, he'll make another.
He'll be featured on anything.
He'll just keep going. There'll always be a loophole as to why another album came.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do agree with what you were saying. I think that's why this song is here, and I think it's apt. That was the way I describe it. Like, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. But on the other hand, who the fuck wants to listen to a song about Jay-Z and his will and all of this shit? Like,
just
that's
makes
the
you
part...
sour about not being in this guy's circle. Like, you're like, oh, motherfucker.
I've never understood people who want to listen to songs about other people bragging about how much better their lives are and how accomplished they are. Like, look,
maybe.
Why?
Dude,
Why?
some people watch me play video games for 9 hours a fucking day. It's just, maybe for some people they like it.
Than Jay-Z's will. That's all I'm saying. It's a weird
idea.
Like, if you guys think this is a great song, please, in the comments, let us know. I would love to know why it's a good song, because I don't understand the brilliance. And now, like, look, I get the idea of why it's great, but the actual practical implementation of this to me is a complete fucking bomb. I give this a 2. I was fucking bored with this song.
Jay-Z, you clusterfuck Holden's brain.
This one was disappointing.
Oh.
And you, Jay?
I agreed with you, finally. I gave it a 1. Just to be even meaner, like, I don't even want to listen to it.
It's just like, okay.
It's so blah.
For once, I'm not the one with the harshest critics.
Nah.
Don't hate me, interwebs.
So what did you give it, Damon?
I gave it a 4.
Really?
I did.
Why?
I did. I liked how it was orchestrated. I liked how I actually saw the planning of the whole album itself. Without the title, I understand, like, why he wanted to focus a little bit more on the title regarding the Lemonade, the whole thing there.
Yeah.
But, like, except for that, I found that the whole album was well constructed and actually had a timeline which made sense to me.
This whole CD felt like an episode of Empire.
Fair enough. All right, so I just want to, like, wrap up with our little album summary.
No. Overall, like, I don't like Jay-Z's voice. Like I said, I really don't like it. I don't like the way he raps. However, I was pleasantly pleased. I gave this album a 3.5.
Okay. I actually gave this album a 3.5.
Yeah, because when you do the average of it.
Yeah, because it's the whatever. Album got a 3.5 for me as well based on the math. There are some songs that are, like, average as fuck. One song I liked a lot, and the rest were kind of like, you know? Like, this is an interesting thought piece that I actually recommend everyone should go listen to, because it's an interesting take on how to communicate ideas through music. But holy shit, would I not go out of my way to put this on for most occasions.
It's very monotone. It's a very monotone album. However, it is interesting, like Holden said. It has a very introspect point of view to what he sees and how he sees and what he wants to say, but he doesn't really care about what anybody has to say, and that's sort of what you want to say.
I think we're actually getting to a point where he started to care about what people have to say, and
towards
he's just
the end, yeah.
Well, just in general, this whole album is, I'm finally acknowledging y'all may have had a point.
Well, for me, I gave it a 2.5, I guess. The reason being is because I really did not enjoy the CD. Like, if this whole CD was basically his way of saying sorry and this is me and everything we've just said, and also another reason as a gimmick for you to go out there as a customer and buy Tidal.
To be fair, it's apparently
Tidal, yeah.
only Tidal exclusive for a week, and then it's gonna go to other stuff. But yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
you guys need to stop doing that. Like Drake with his
But-
Apple
but
release
Jay-
bullshit,
but Jay-Z
and then
owns Tidal.
I don't care. Like,
Now,
why
the
would
one
you
thing
fucking black?
I want to comment on that is if your intention is really to apologize, don't mix that shit with a power business move. It's just
Why not?
cheeky.
He's
It invalidates your apology
it
from
goes
my
back
perspective.
to my Empire thing. Like, this is just basically a
You're
whole
right.
season of Empire.
You're right. And it really is. And I think one of the meme things I saw on the internet that was most interesting about this is Jay-Z and Beyonce are the only couple that could really make a fucking million or two off of cheating. Like that's what
Donald
happened
Trump.
here. They cheated on each other, or he cheated on her. I apologize. I don't know if she cheated.
Yeah.
And then they both made these albums, and look how much money they're going to bank, how much fame they're going to bank off of that. And that is truly impressive. I got to give them props from the business side of it.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know if you guys have any more.
No, my headspace is pretty full. What about you?
I'm good.
Awesome. So if you like this one, hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And
Let us know what you think, guys. We do want to pick your brains, and we do want you guys to pick our brains about stuff. So definitely
My
leave
brain
comments below. Leave your
yeah.
brain alone.
Yeah.
Jay's
And
brain's
then,
a little bit out of commission.
Then next week we'll be back with another album, and we'll see you then.